Infamous Jay Moore Show on the air. I'm not Infamous Jay Moore.
I'm Infamous Jay Moore, and welcome,
he's here, yeah.
welcome everybody. What's the name of that song?
Help Me, Rhonda.
No, not that piece of crap. The welcome everyone to the, I think it was some Pink Floyd song. I don't know. I go through a brain fart
right now. We
were
playing, and just before we came on, we had a song from the Rick Rose playlist, Beach Boys and Help Me, Rhonda.
Yeah.
Which, now that we're on the air worldwide, 4680q.ca and 4680q.com with the Infamous Jay Moore Show with yours truly, Pat Porter.
And it's interesting. I'm just going to shill a cheap plug in for Whiskey and Walleye, who they have a Beach Boy cover coming into there very, very soon. And another act that's coming there very, very soon is Svengali. And opening up, one of the opening acts for Svengali that are coming is Rebel Souls with Joni Jane, who will be with us here in studio on Tuesday night, Pat Porter. I got a lot out of that Beach Boys song.
Last time you did. Last time you had Joni Jane on, I wasn't here. You were doing the show, and I missed out having Joni to talk to. So.
You were here, actually. It was a winter storm where we made it into the studio, and Joni Jane couldn't get it in, but she joined us.
She called
via the telephone, and we had the whole band except for Ricky, who was sick. Rick.
Sick Rick.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it'll be interesting to talk to her on Tuesday. I think she will be here in studio. I don't foresee any problems. They're selling tickets to the big Svengali show.
Now, Joni Jane has some tickets available, some hard copy tickets.
That's right.
$20 in advance. Save yourself $10. They're $30 at the door.
Yeah.
So when she comes in on Tuesday, she'll be here. You could give us a call, send us a text or an email.
There you go.
That's make sure she's got the tickets for you.
Perfect way to do that.
Now that's Svengali is Pantera tribute band, right?
No, they're not. They're their own band, Svengali. The Pantera is, you're thinking of Cowboys from Hell, a completely different band.
Are they playing that same night?
No, I don't believe they are. I think that's a separate act, Pat Porter. Yeah.
All right.
Svengali will be headlining, and they will be supported, I know, by Rebel Souls. I know by that 70s rock show, Dizzy Rex, and I think there's one or two others in there. Two different shows all together.
It's a big night.
Svengali is a big one, yeah. They, last year they played the Regency. They were also supported by that 70s rock show as well, Dizzy Rex and a few others. Big act, and it'll be great to have Svengali in Port Colborne.
Wow, yeah. That's good. That's good. So, also coming up 11th of May, we should tell everybody, you and I are going to be at the Leander Boat Club.
Yes.
Leander Drive in Hamilton, right down by the bay.
Yes.
It's going to be the King Biscuit Boy Tribute Show once again. Every year this big event comes on. All kinds of great blues.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if that show's sold out, Pat Porter. You better get your tickets on that one because those ones
right away.
Those ones go fast, and that room fills up, and we always have a lot of fun at the Leander Boat Club.
Yeah. May 11th. Mark that down. We'll be there. All right. So we got to talk a little bit about our partners, our sponsors. Let's do that. Then we can talk about who's coming on the show today.
Beautifully done.
All right. Yeah. Hair Quarters now. Happy 42nd anniversary. Hair Group. Actually, the website is hqgroup.ca. Hair Quarters. You can check it out. They've got some great reviews if you look at their website. One by Amanda says, love going to HQ for whether it's a cut, a color, or anything in between. When you go to HQ, it's not just seeing your stylist, but more like hanging out with friends. Staff is friendly, knowledgeable. The salon is always clean and inviting. It's the place to go. Hair Quarters in the Fairview Mall at HQ Studios up in Bracebridge as well. Check that out. They do men, they do women as well. So anything. Premier Hair Salon. Makeup enhancement services, trained staff in hair coloring and styling techniques and cutting, design, all that kind of stuff. They have won an award. Last year, the Standard Reader's Choice certificate was given to Natalia Morlicetti, the owner, in the category of Hairstylist Barber, Reader's Choice Award. They won gold. So congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Next Friday, I'm going to be bringing in Dale Ann Melnick from Crystal Beach, and she's coming in here to sit down with me for the whole hour. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about sixpackrecruiting.com.
Yes.
And that's for girls to play volleyball, to continue their skills at university, get a scholarship, and get the education paid for by, participating in sports.
Yeah.
And Dale Ann Melnick will help you get set up with that. You just get in touch with her. She connects the athletes with the coaches across the U.S. and Canada. regular online meetings, and she's always available to tell you how this actually works. 30 years of experience doing this, and she's traveling around. I think she was up in Edmonton, and then I think she spent some time in Kitchener over the weekend.
Yeah, the woman gets around, and for someone who has 30 years experience, that means they've done this their whole lives. So they really know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
She knows how to play sports. Yep. She's played the sports professionally, and she can teach it, and she...
Six-pack recruiting, and with,
that's it. Yeah.
I'm curious about with six-pack recruiting, if you can ask her when she comes into your show next week, is she just did the Paul Porter show.
Yeah. In Tampa, in
I would
Florida.
be curious as to what show that she likes better. Would it be your Pat Porter show or the Paul Porter show? I may do a call in and see what's going on.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah. Don't get upset. Don't get angry.
He's my brother. She better like my show better than his. Mm-hmm. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find that one out.
Okay, here's another one. Hernder Winery.
Yeah,
they've got a big event coming up Wednesday, April 24th, which is this coming Wednesday at 7:00. Wine and Woo, it's an evening of messages with psychic medium Lynn Nichols, and they do this every year. Your ticket includes a complimentary beverage, a special cup, magically created by Nibblese. Tickets are on sale only through Hernder Estate Wines. Seating is limited. The show starts at 7:00 on Wednesday, so mark that down and find out more about that. Get your ticket. Also on Wednesdays, starting up in June, 5th of June, it's going to be the supper markets at Hernder Estate Winery. From 4:30 until dusk with vendors and food trucks and giveaways, entertainment, wine, fun. All right?
Till the daddy takes the T-bird away, baby.
And Robin Bannerman, Crystal Ball Beach Cafe coming back, and Waterfront Supper Market coming up in June 27th with Strangely Steve and The Trip. July 4th with Maple Jam and the Blackstones, and July 11th, Dua Lipa, stuck in the 90s, and then they have more to come in July as well, 18th and 25th.
Yeah, wow. And I heard Jen Downey on your show yesterday saying that's a great lineup, and I got to concur with that. That is a hell of a lineup happening in Crystal Beach. The Trip, as we all know, Pat Raimondo in that group, and Stuck in the 90s, that's a great group as well. Neon Dirty, that's a big one, and a lot of them, jam-packed, good booking on the part of Crystal Beach. The Waterfront Supper Market, is that
it's
what
called?
It is?
The Waterfront Supper Market.
Yeah.
Music, food, and community.
Sometimes I get supper and super mixed up. I don't know. I'm not.
Super.
I don't know.
There are two P's in supper.
I know. I'm not that bright.
Well, I know that.
I went to Kernan.
Coconut College.
Yes.
That's what they used to call
it.
They still call it that?
Well, it's closed down, ironically, but as well as should be.
You and your buddies trashed the place.
We totally trashed the place, and nobody came out of Kernahan College doing well. I'll tell you that, yes. Kernahan Park.
I'll tell you what, we're going to play a song. We're going to get in touch with our first guest. After that, tell us who the guest is going to be, Jay.
We're going to talk to Dave Jen he's from 5440. We had him last August. They were doing a show last August coming to the casino in Buffalo at that time. This time they're back they're here in Niagara. Back at the casino, that's what I'm trying to say. Casino shows. They like doing casino shows. As we know, a number of bands, they frequent the casino tours, Pat Porter. Mm-hmm. A lot of them that we interview. 5440 is back May 26th at the OLG stage, and they're going to be with the Watchmen and a band that a few people in there, The Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, in fact, I spent last weekend part of the time with Mo Berg, lead singer from
Okay, so that's going to be great. So we're going to talk to Dave Jen from 5440 about that a little bit later on. And plus, if you're a fan of the WWE, especially mid-2000s, Eugene. Nick Dinsmore is going to be joining us on the phone, and he will be in town May 4th for the grand opening of Icon Autographs. They just moved at a brand new store. Beautifully decorated store, and they're having free autographs and photos May 4th from 1 to 4 p.m. And Ben Seaver from Growing Pains is going to be there.
Okay.
One of the girls from Corner Gas is going to be there. Mark LaForest, who is the goalie from the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Going to be there too,
as well as Philadelphia Flyers. And I have some interesting stories about him that I will tell you off the air. I used to work with Mark LaForest. And there's going to be a bunch there. So iconautographs.com to get your information out. We'll talk to Eugene later and Dave Jen.
Coming up right after Ocean Pearl. 5440 here at 4680q.ca.
Bitten in the valley of thirst, the body kills. I got an ocean pearl. I see an open world. No ocean pearl. You just have to whisper, promising the moon. And if she dares to dream, make it true. I got an ocean pearl, and I see an open world. Ocean pearl is what I wanted, 'cause I'm only gonna do this once. Gonna wash me in your water, put the feet back in love difference, yeah. Now I got an ocean pearl. Now I die without my ocean pearl. Now I got an ocean pearl. Now I got an ocean pearl. I got an ocean pearl. Now I got an ocean pearl. I got an ocean pearl.
Surprise end there. I got it though. I was ready for it. Ocean Pearl 5440. We're going to have to wait on Dave. We call him, but he's probably down the hall or something. So he's going to get back to us. In the meantime, we were talking a few minutes ago, infamous Jay Moore, the fact that one of the bands that are playing with 5440 at the OLG casino.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness, yeah. Now, they were up there with the supergroup led by Steve Page from formerly with the Bare Naked Ladies.
Okay.
And Sloan was up there, one of the lead singers from Sloan.
Yeah.
And also from Sloan, and there was The Odds, the band The Odds.
The Odds.
Yeah. And
That's where you fit in. The Odds.
yeah, right, yeah. Okay, so Mo Berg, who was the lead singer of Pursuit of Happiness, he was up there as well. And he kind of stood in the background and gave me the eye, you know. I walked over to him afterward and I said, "Hi, I'm Pat Porter, radio station." He says, "Oh, okay, great." He says, "You're doing the podcast with us up here at JW Marriott."
Yeah, he didn't want you snooping around. That's why.
Well, these guys are suspicious. Who are you? You know.
Yeah.
I had a sport coat on. I was dressed up. He was in his old rock star clothes.
Right.
You know?
Interesting that you wear a sport coat to shows that I'm not a part of, because you don't do that with me.
No.
You don't look professional with me. You won't look professional May 11th at Lee Leander Boat Club either. So.
I look like I always look.
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah, one thing, I never wear a tie anymore. I gave up wearing a tie forever.
I know that.
Never going to happen again.
Yeah.
So, doesn't matter. Anybody that's dying, funerals, well, forget it. I'm not coming with a tie.
Really?
I'll put a sport coat on.
That's right. Now, do you have anything on the sport coat, a logo or some sort?
Put a logo.
The radio station logo or the Pat Porter show or NBC's?
No, just a regular black sport coat.
Yeah. So. You know, I before you go to music, probably Dave is going to call in a few minutes anyways, but before you go to music, I actually have at my house an ABC News sports jacket that I stole when I was in New York City. One of the sportscasters was doing a broadcast out on the road and put his jacket off and left it on the white barrier. And I was just like, you know what?
You took it.
I think I'm going to scoop this.
Got it.
So I got an ABC.
Did it
ABC,
fit?
Yeah, it fits perfectly. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so shout out to ABC on the free jacket. That was quite a number of years ago, but I enjoy having that. Yeah, thank
good.
you.
You put that on you. It looked clean for once. Eh?
Yeah, you sure do.
Instead of
yeah.
your dirty old T-shirt that you wear all the time.
Well, now I got the new dog with dog hair all over my
dog hair. That's right. You got a new dog today.
I got to get a lint brush to leave in my car. Yeah.
Get a pooper scooper out to,
Gotta
be in the backyard, following that dog around.
Life has changed.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going through a pivot.
All right, here's the Pursuit of Happiness, one of the bands that's going to be with 5440 at the OLG Casino, and She's So Young.
As much as she'd like to believe, she's leading a brand new wave. That uniform that she wears, I see it on the street every day. She looks heavenward and struggles to find the right cliche. You've gotta find your own space. Have a nice day. She's so young, she's got the answer. She doesn't need to question herself like I do. Like I do. She's so young, she's got the answer. She doesn't need to question the world like I do. Like I do. Like the wisdom of ages will flow from her tongue. This is the delusion of the young. She says she'll lead with her heart, but her heart really doesn't know at all. I get no satisfaction out of seeing her fall. She's so young, she's got the answer. She doesn't need to question herself like I do. Like I do. She's so young, she's got the answer. She doesn't need to question her life like I do. Like I She's so young, she's got the answer. She doesn't need to question herself like I do. Like I do. She's so young, she's got the answer. She doesn't need to question the world like I do. Like I do. She's so young, she's got the answer. She doesn't need to question herself like I do. Like I do. She's so young, she's got the answer. She doesn't need to question the world like I do. Like I
That is the Pursuit of Happiness, lead singer Mo Berg, and She's So Young. Oh, great song there. Now,
Yeah, it's been a while since I've heard Pursuit of Happiness. Again, there'll be May 26th. You can see the Pursuit of Happiness. It's a Thursday show at the OLG stage. They're going to be with the Watchmen as well, Pat Porter, and of course 5440. Still haven't heard from Dave Jen. I don't know. Is he going to get bumped like the late night shows do? They just bump you off, reschedule. I guess I don't know. But interestingly enough,
Yeah.
We did have him on last year, so if you want to hear that interview, it's in the archives.
Oh,
Yeah.
We'll play the archive interview back.
InfamousJMoore.com. You can find that on YouTube.
I listened to a bit of that this morning, that
Right.
old interview from, how long ago was that?
Well, it was last August, and what was interesting at that time, they just released an album called West Coast Band. And this is what I was going to talk to Dave about, how that tour went, because at the time they did their show at the Elmo Combo. If I recall right, the album might have even been recorded at the Elmo Combo, but they definitely did a show at the Elmo Combo for the release of the album West Coast Band. And what's interesting about that album, West Coast Band, is the album is actually about, okay, so the boys were shut down through COVID, as every band were. And they were talking a lot to each other through Zoom because they all live on different islands.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about that album is the boys were just telling old stories over Zoom about their band and how the band got discovered, played old stories about what when the band was formed, old road stories and whatnot. And that's what the entire album is about. The West Coast Band is about old stories about the band.
No kidding.
So there's not a lot of stories that are, as a traditional songwriter would write about, a story of something. These stories are specific to the band.
Their band, yeah.
That album, West Coast Band. So
they're
check that out.
from Vancouver, but actually, like you said, they're from all over in that Vancouver area.
Yeah.
Originally from Tsawwassen, British Columbia.
Yeah.
A very interesting historical fact about how they got that name, 54-40.
I was just going to bring that up. Yeah.
The old slogan, which goes back to the 1800s. The band took the name from that slogan, 54-40 or fight.
Right.
It was a successful expansionist agenda
Right.
of the presidency of a guy named James Knox Polk. Mm-hmm. Nobody remembers him.
Not me.
No, he's not like Donald Trump. So anyway, James Knox Polk wanted to control that border area in the Oregon boundary dispute. And so they settled up on that at the 54th parallel, 40th or whatever.
Yeah.
Wherever they settled, wherever they drew the line. So the slogan was 54-40 or fight. They never did get to fight about that because they settled it up. And James Knox Polk finished off his presidency and was ever since then has been forgotten about.
Yeah, and that story was told in great detail in our last interview as well.
Yeah.
Not that I'm giving it another cheap plug, but in greater detail.
It's an interesting story.
It is an interesting story, and Dave Jen, the lead singer of the band 5440, Neil Osborne, I believe, just put out his own music as well. And you could check that out on their Facebook page, where he's got his own new release out.
Neil Osborne, yeah.
If you go to 5440.com, now don't tell Dave I told you this.
Okay.
But it's all outdated. It's all from 2022. So I don't know. It's about as old as this phone call. You guess
Neil Osborne met Brad Merritt at South Delta High School.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys meet in high school.
Yeah.
In Tsawwassen, British Columbia. And they were studying, after that, they went to the Berklee College of Music in Boston.
Yeah.
Which is, top notch for people that want to get into the music business, especially, not just rock bands, but, highfalutin music,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So they returned home after they finished up with that, formed the band with Brad Merritt and drummer Ian Franey. And their first and their last gig in Coquitlam was December 8th, 1980. The night that John Lennon was killed.
Yes.
So that
first
probably
gig
was kind of a downer.
First gig.
Yeah, first gig in Coquitlam, December 8th,
Yeah, and everybody's
1980.
musical hero dies that day. And
Wow.
wasn't he shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was, kind of put a damper on the whole show.
Shot in Central Park. What was that guy's name that shot him, John?
Mark Chapman.
Mark Chapman. Very good. Very
yeah.
good, Pat.
He's still
Porter.
in jail, by the way.
He's alive?
I think he is.
Oh, wow.
I think he got him locked up somewhere. You'll
Is
never
any
see
of the
him
Beatles,
again.
like Ringo's alive still?
Yeah.
Is Paul McCartney? I think he's alive. Isn't
Well,
he?
he claims to be.
Right. His career's dead, though.
Ringo, well, when I look at the two of them, Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney, when Paul McCartney was young, he was the teen idol. The girls loved Paul McCartnney.
Yeah.
They didn't care about Ringo. He was.
Nobody cared about Ringo.
No,
yeah.
he was too. His nose was too big.
And
he had
wasn't there a
funny
fifth
haircut.
Beatle at some point that was also
Pete Best. Pete Best was the drummer.
There you go.
Yeah,
Now George
Ringo replaced
Harrison,
him.
is George Harrison alive?
No, he's dead.
Okay.
He's gone.
All right.
and so is John Lennon. So there's two Beatles left. But Paul McCartney looks like he's aged very poorly.
I haven't seen him in a lot of years.
Well, he's got kind of a wrinkly look. But you look at Ringo Starr.
Peace and love, peace and love.
Yeah, and he still looks like he could be 45, 50 years old.
Wow, there you go.
But I understand he exercises all the time.
Isn't it interesting that the Beatle that nobody liked is now the best looking, and
that's right,
and alive, and it can still do music? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
It is amazing. So that's interesting.
Yeah. So
a little bit of facts.
Dave Chen, the guy that we're trying to get a hold of, was with the Matthew Good Band.
That's right. Yes.
And then he joined 5440 in 2003. So. 21 years ago, kind of a generation, but he's been with the band for a long time.
And what's interesting, I would have never expect this from Dave Jen. What's interesting about the whole thing being Matthew Good and kind of the new guy, even though he's over 20 years in the band 5440, Dave Jen was a member of a Vancouver, believe this, Pat Porter, psychedelic punk hard rock band, Def Surf Kiss, named after their love for Grateful Dead and surf music and Kiss. So everybody goes wild when they're young, eh?
Grateful Dead, surf music, and Kiss. That's a combination.
Psychedelic punk music, and now he's in 5440 doing Ocean Pearls. So it's kind of weird. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I don't know. Myself, Dave Jen was great. If you don't call in, I really want to move on with Eugene because that's a man that will be ready. As everybody that is in the wrestling business is known to do, they show up for shows, they get the job done, and but hey, if we don't get to Jen,
we'll get him another time.
And one more quick plug for them: 5440 with the Watchmen, with Pursuit of Happiness, Thursday, May 26th at the OLG stage in Niagara Falls, and you can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.
All right, well let's play a song. By 5440. We're not talking to Dave. We're going to play a little bit of his music, and then we're going to try and get a hold of Eugene.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk some wrestling.
Here's I Go Blind.
Every time I look at you, I go blind. Every time I look at you, I go blind. Every time I look at you, I go blind. Every time I look at you, I go blind. In the morning I get up and I try to feel alive, but I can't. Every time I look at you, I go blind. I don't know what it is, something in me just won't give it a chance. I think it's that I feel more confused by the new love that's shown me. Little child, did you know that there's a light? And it's gonna shine right through your eyes. What do you think that life is like? Every time I look at you, I go blind. I go blind. Somewhere over there, there's a purpose, there's a carefree. In me, there's nobody, no one plan, no one stand to be free. I think it's that because I have seen all of us, and it's no big deal. No big deal. Hold me, 'cause I wanna get high and higher. Higher than hold me, 'cause I wanna get high and higher. Higher than.
5440 and I Go Blind. How you doing, infamous G Moore?
I'm doing fine.
I'm Pat Porter. This is 4680q.ca, and I got somebody special on the telephone right now that you know.
Yeah.
And this is Eugene, the wrestler. So go ahead and lead off, Jay.
One of my favorite wrestlers in the entire industry. Eugene, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing great. And I'm super pumped up because I seen the huge advertisement. They've been doing a lot of promotion down here that Eugene comes back to Canada, and you're going to be in Niagara Falls at Icon Autographs May 4th from 1 to 4 p.m., and we're super stoked for it. Eugene, when was the last time you were in Canada?
I think I was in Winnipeg maybe 2 years ago, I believe, or more. No, right when the pandemic hit, because I came across the border right as all the border scare was happening.
Right, yes. And you made it across. You were able to wrestle, I guess.
I was driving, though. I was driving from in North Dakota from, I can't remember where we were, way up there.
Jeez.
Always good to go back to Canada.
I remember when I first saw you, it was at a house show in Hamilton. And I remember, listen, I got to admit, I was one for the heels, and I was in the, the era where everybody liked the NWO and stuff like that, Steve Austin, The Rock, all that kind of stuff. And I remember you coming out at a simple house show in Hamilton, not all dressed up, not on TV and anything, just, and you owned that crowd. You absolutely owned that crowd. And I think it's amazing, your character and your gimmick. When I think more about it, the more I think about it, it's just like, wow, this guy's completely swung a different way with this character. And the crowd, the fans, huge baby face, the kids especially, absolutely love you.
It was definitely a magical time. I mean, the Eugene character just kind of emitted out of me, and it was magic is really the only word I can think to say, but it was special to me, and I'm glad I got to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of because, I mean, when you started with OVW, when you started with Rip Rogers and doing that kind of wrestling, like, you were known to be literally one of the best wrestlers in the ring, like a man that could do marathon matches and not use the same hold twice, like one of those kind. And then having to switch to Eugene, was that a hard pivot? Because I would feel like the way you got trained and the way you are in the business, it would kind of be like you have to hold back on some of the wrestling and get more into that character. Was that the situation?
Well, I've been wrestling for about 7 or 8 years when I kind of started doing. I was so comfortable with the wrestling in the ring, I didn't have to think about that.
Yeah.
Then I could explore what emotions should I be in this moment. What character's emotion should I be? If I'm, the bad guy, if I'm the good guy, if I'm Eugene, whoever, how would they feel right in this moment? And I don't have to think about what moves I need to be doing. And it just kind of came out naturally.
Yeah, that's what I mean about it being natural as well. Do you think that's a thing? Like, is there a part of you that when you're going into wrestling, because you've done some training as well, when you're going into wrestling, do you have to have a little bit of that talent? Like, do you have to be a natural instinct about you with this crowd? Like, not everybody can do that, I don't think.
Yeah, generally just the best guys have that ability.
Yeah.
It's something that you can't teach. And I think sometimes if you recognize it, you can try to emulate it, but it's a difficult thing to have.
Yeah.
And luckily, people looked at Eugene that way, so...
Yeah. So it's... Can you teach a little bit of that? Like, how would you do it if you're in a training school? If somebody doesn't have it, you just got to be honest with them and say, hey, this isn't going to work out for you? Because you... Well,
not everybody's going to be The Rock. Not everybody's going to be Stone Cold.
Right.
There's a spot for somebody anywhere on the card.
Yeah.
But the guys that are the biggest showmen, the guys that are the biggest draws, the guys that have that magnetic ability to get people to watch them and come pay money to see them, those guys are going to be on top. They always have been. They always will be.
Yeah, yeah. And it's interesting, back in the days, you were working with all the top guys, from Triple H to Kurt Angle to Hogan to Austin, The Rock. Like, that Eugene character, although it was different, fit absolutely everywhere.
I was lucky; it was well written for.
Yeah.
Brian Gerwitz, who wrote a lot of the Rock stuff, wrote for Eugene, and I think they knew that I had the ability as a wrestler, and it was just getting that character and then writing in with all the stars, and it came out fantastic.
It absolutely did. I guess the writing, because you hear some old-time wrestlers that complain about the writing, but I guess the writing, especially if you got Brian Gerwitz writing for you, is a huge plus, would you say? Well,
I mean, the old-timers are trying to put on pro wrestling shows, but I think when I was in WWE, it was more of like an episodic variety show that happened to tour.
Nice. Yeah, nicely put. Yeah. Nicely put. How was it working with Regal? Because you did a lot with Regal and Bischoff as well. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd read some bad things about Bischoff from WCW and people that were bitter, but he was nothing but class, high class with me. He was so willing to work with Eugene. He was excited to work with me, and I like him personally.
Yeah.
Having Bischoff as Eugene's uncle gave me immediate credibility. And then working with Regal, a guy that I looked up to, since before I even started wrestling.
For sure.
I got to ride with him, got to get to know him, got to bring him on as a mentor, ask him questions at any time. And he was very protective of Eugene also. So it was I was put into a perfect spot.
Absolutely perfect spot and the perfect baby face. Like, it's interesting you're coming to Icon Autographs to sign autographs. Like, really, how many autographs do you think you sign in your life being, like, I would say the top baby face going?
I don't know how many I've signed in my lifetime, but as you know, on May 4th, I'll be signing 3 autographs and taking photos at the grand opening of Icon Autograph.
Yeah, he doesn't work for us, Pat Porter. It's completely done for us.
You got it, yeah. That's May 4th, 1 till 4 o'clock, iconautograph.com. And that's going to be at the grand opening of that new location, right?
Yeah, brand new location. And there's some others on there. Do you remember Ben Seaver? Pat Porter.
Yeah.
Do you know Ben Seaver from Growing Pains? Did you ever watch any TV when you were on the road? You must have been working all the time.
I watched the reruns.
I'm talking to Eugene.
Oh, sorry.
I know who that is. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah. Ben Seaver's going to be there. One of the girls from Corner Gas, who was a Canadian show. Marco Force from the Toronto Maple Leafs. So there's a bunch of different ones. And these guys are the ones that run the huge Comic-Con down here. And I think, I know that the fans are pumped in Niagara Falls because we haven't really had Eugene to come to a Comic-Con in this area, and it's going to be interesting to have you at Icon Autographs because there are some Eugene fans down here, Eugene. It's going to be great to see you down here.
I'm excited to come. I can't wait.
Beautiful. Pat Porter, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I want to find out about his company, All Pro Wrestling, Midwest All Pro Wrestling. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that,
Did you shut that down, Eugene?
I didn't shut it down, but I sold it. I was living in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Now I'm currently in St. Pete, Florida. So I come down here on the sand, in the beach, in the sun.
Nice.
Wow, yeah. A big difference from North Dakota, or South Dakota even, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, you like the weather better in Florida.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Sun's out, guns out, buns out.
Eugene, do you have anything to do with wrestling nowadays? Do you do any training or anything or are you just retired?
I had done some training at a local school here in the St. Pete area. I just got back from a 4-day overseas tour to Britain. 5 days.
Nice.
Planning on going back. Yeah, I'm still wrestling independently on the weekends and hanging out on the beach during the weekdays.
Beautiful. It never dies. Down here in Canada, we know some of the guys that worked with you. Santino Marella had it. Well, I guess he used to have a school down here. I don't know what he does now, but Santino was down here. I don't know if you spent time with him in OVW. Ripper.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know Santino very well.
Yeah, Ripper used to come down to Toronto all the time and help out Santino. Sean Spears is from Niagara Falls. I don't know if you know Sean, but he spent some time in OVW. Bin Hameen. I don't know if you know Bin Hameen. I think that would be interesting if you did, but yeah.
I know Bin Hameen. We're both. I was around OVW when he was there.
Okay, I thought that would have been around the same time. Yeah. So these are some of the guys that work this area as well. So I just thought I'd throw that in there because I thought maybe you would know them.
Jay Moore was the manager of Ben Hameen.
Yeah.
Jay goes by the title of the manager of champions, and he's managed wrestlers all over Canada. And Ben Hameen was one of them. And I did a couple of events with Ben Hameen as well. And he would come out, Eugene, dressed up in his full getup, and then a minute later you'd see Jay Moore following him along in the same costume, only about half the size. It was hilarious.
Yeah, quite a good camp that came out of that old OVW, and of course
Ontario. What was it called?
Ohio Valley.
Ohio Valley.
Yeah, Ohio Valley, and of course you. I guess you were at the time where they had John Cena, they had Brock Lesnar, all the big boys there. Good camp with.
Yeah, Randy Orton was there, and Buck Victoria was there. Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Batista.
Yeah,
it was one heck of a crew.
Yeah, I think everybody that came out of that camp always pats Rip Rogers on the back. I don't know if he's too hardcore, like some of the ones that ran through here in Canada. It just kind of found him a little bit different, but I absolutely love him. I think that's probably the type of trainer that you need to get into this business is Rip Rogers, that's for sure. Cornette, I guess he yells at some people too, but hey, that was the business in the day to me. I don't know about what your opinion is on that.
Well, I think he's a very good trainer, very good coach.
Yeah.
Some people don't take to a Bobby Knight style coaching. They want more of a gentle pat on the back. But,
Yes. Well, it obviously worked for you, and I guess Ripper came up with that whole gimmick for you, eh? Was it his idea to have the Eugene gimmick?
Well, he gave me the idea for the character.
That's right.
And then once I got in the ring, I just kind of,
took
it
it
just
on
kind
your
of came
own.
to me. I knew I wanted to be a sympathetic comedy babyface because there wasn't any. And I knew I wanted to be a kid's comedy character because only Hurricane and Rosie were the kids' characters, and there was two brands, two different shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. I absolutely love it, Pat.
Well, Jay, I think maybe for our listeners that maybe aren't as adept at all the terminology in wrestling, why don't you talk about the difference between babyface and the heel so that people can understand what that is?
Well, I guess Eugene probably would be better to talk about, but I consider you a top babyface. I think all the kids, everybody loves the babyface, and the heel is the dirtiest, much like a Bin Hameen, the dirtiest you can get. Eric Bischoff,
kind of like you.
Yeah, I was a dirty heel manager, Eugene, in Ontario here. So,
where'd Eugene go?
We lost Eugene.
Well, I'm here.
He's just listening.
He's considering what we were talking about.
Yeah, I think we probably got
Well, he just described it perfectly. He just answered the question.
Yeah,
right.
That's right. Yeah.
I guess we don't have to ask him. You just asked me, Pat, when you had Eugene as a guest. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Eugene, do you have anything left to say to the fans of the Falls? You're coming May 4th, and we're pumped up, and I know you're pumped up too. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see everybody at Icon Autograph Saturday, May the 4th.
Yeah, 1 to 4 p.m., and these autographs are free. Now, what kind of worker gives away free autographs? You got to be getting something on the back end.
Eugene has just showed up to chew bubble gum and sign autographs, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
I love you, Eugene, and thanks for taking the time with us today. We will see you May 4th when you come to the Falls, and I'm looking forward to getting my autograph signed. And I love you, my man, and thank you for taking the time to do this. You've been nothing but great with us.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Eugene. Thank you. It was a lot of fun, and we'll see you on the 4th of May for sure. All right. I guess he's... Whoops, there he went.
Well, I guess he just hung up on Eugene.
No, he hung up on us.
Oh, okay.
He said, I'm done with these guys.
He's tired of it,
That's it. Enough already. Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I heard the phone ringing. I don't know if you heard that, Pat.
Yeah,
Porter.
I did. That was probably our buddy Dave.
I think we should give him one shot. One last shot. Yeah. Okay, one last shot.
Let's see. You talk and I'll dial.
You're going to dial? You're not going to go to music? Okay, yeah. But
I'll dial.
It was great to talk to Eugene, one of the WWE superstars. A guy that, I was a heel. I loved the heels. I was a fan of the heels, but Eugene really turned my thoughts around, especially when I seen him at that house show in Hamilton as being one of the top baby faces in the Federation at the time. Worked with all the top guys. Like I said, Austin, Regal, Triple H. You could catch all this stuff, What's wrong, Pat Porter? You're looking at me like everything is falling apart here. I hear a busy tone. I hear all kinds of things. Off the hook. Unbelievable. One more last time, and then Pat Porter, I'll be done with this whole show. I'm going insane. This is how live radio works, Pat Porter. This is how it goes, and we don't.
Hey, very much, Jay Moore. Yeah,
it's not happening.
We need a producer to do all our work for us.
It's not happening.
No, I'll try it again. So you were going to keep talking while I dialed, and then all of a sudden you started talking to me.
I thought you were getting to him, so keep on talking.
No, I'm fine. You keep talking. Tell everybody how famous you are.
That's it. Yeah. Everybody knows how famous I am, Pat Porter.
Tell them why. Tell them why.
I don't know. I'm the manager.
Tell them why you're special.
And this is something that Eugene just sent me a message saying thank you guys. Can you believe that? Honestly, I'm going to say this. One of the nicest guys that I've done business with has been Eugene. He was very receptive when I reached out and I wanted to talk to him. Pat, you're not even dialing the phone. You're sitting here listening to me now.
I thought your message came from Dave.
No, it's not from Dave. I need you to get Dave on the phone and see what the hell's going on with this radio show.
Keep talking. You're doing a fine job,
The whole
Jay
show's
Moore.
falling apart. This is worse than Bobby Bass production. Absolutely worst thing going. Anyways, Eugene, I'm going to do the plug one more time. It's going to be Icon Autographs. Now, these are the same guys. These guys just moved. I should get their location down. A lot of them don't have it on the... here's another interesting thing. I'm just going to vamp here for a few minutes. Free celebrity autographs and photographs. Meet Star Wars Stormtroopers, Darth Vader, and visit the Harry Potter exhibit, and much, much more. Mark LaForest, this is interesting, Pat Porter. I had a story about him. He's a former goalie of the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Philadelphia Flyers. And what's interesting about Mark LaForest is I don't follow hockey, but I did end up working a job with this guy who was literally driving truck for a window and door company. And
okay, Dave Jen. I'm talking to Dave Jen. He's not on the line yet, but I'm going to tell him to give us a call. Keep talking, Jay. You're doing a fine job.
Okay, well, I thought maybe you'd go on the microphone, but
296-4311.
Mark LaForest is. Were you listening to any of this, Pat Porter? No. Mark LaForest, who is the...
I didn't even have my microphone on. I just figured you're blathering away as usual, and why should I pay attention?
What's interesting is this Mark LaForest, who is a former goalie of the Toronto Maple Leafs, former goalie of Philadelphia Flyers. I didn't follow any hockey.
Why not?
I didn't like hockey. I still don't. But what was interesting is I ended up working like a side job where I was a truck driver delivering windows and doors across the province, and Mark LaForest was one of the employees of this window company. He was also a truck driver, and that's what happens when your career, when the window gets shut and you have to get a job. And he used to tell me old stories about being in old Maple Leaf Gardens, and they would smoke cigarettes in the locker room and whatnot. And I never took this guy seriously. I guess maybe it was rude on my part. I was a bigger star than he was in here in Ontario. Not a lot of people knew Mark LaForest. He came in with ripped up jeans and just looking real grub. Loved the cigarettes.
Oh, yeah. Hockey player that loved to smoke.
Yeah, I love to smoke.
They're pumping away on the ice.
And now here I see him. He's done a signing for Icon Autographs. He's done a second signing for Icon Autographs. And he's going to be there with Eugene, believe it or not, sitting beside Eugene on the 4th at Icon Autographs.
Now, you know a little bit about Icon Autographs, Jay, from their previous incarnation at a different location.
The previous incarnation, I was there with Chris Thorne. We met Jimmy Hart. They had a store. I can't remember the exact location, but I know that the store got robbed.
Yeah,
got robbed, and it was on CH News, and they were looking for...
Was it Chris Dabrowski was trying to catch everybody?
Yes, and James Ponce, and...
Yeah.
I know I'm going to get in trouble for this because I know these guys.
Yeah.
But I always considered maybe, is this an inside job? Because suddenly they have the money to move over to this new location, and we never did. We never did find the people that stole this stuff. So I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Anyway, they shut down. They've got a brand new location now.
Yeah.
Autographs and all sorts of memorabilia from not only wrestling, but hockey and probably the other sports as well.
Yeah, these guys,
movies, TV.
These guys are big in their autographs. And if you go to any of the Comic Cons and everything, it was huge in the day. Now their old location was on Dorchester Road,
right?
And
in Niagara Falls. So it's iconautograph.com.
Yeah, iconautograph.com.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at this here, which is interesting. Like, there's a headline in the Niagara Falls Review. This is from February 1st, 2024. And the headline, I'm not going to go into the story, but the headline was, "After painful theft, Icon Autographs is moving to a new location."
Painful theft.
But the new location is Fallsview Boulevard, across from the Niagara Fallsview Casino. So we talk about OLG Stage all the time at the Fallsview Casino. These guys are right across the street. Interesting. 5440 at the OLG. Eugene across the street at the Fallsview. I don't know. It doesn't seem like we're getting to Dave Jen. So that's it for me. It's The Watchmen, Pursuit of Happiness, and 5440 playing Thursday, May 26th. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster there at the OLG stage. And, of course, Eugene. Shout-outs to Eugene for doing the job, man, and calling in tonight, this afternoon. Icon Autographs. He'll be at the grand opening. IconAutographs.com is where you get all your information with the other celebrities that will be there. Free autographs and photos. May 4th, 1 to 4 p.m., Fallsview Boulevard, across from the casino. What more can you ask for, Pat Porter?
I think what we're going to do now, we're going to sign off. But before we do that, let's tell everybody what we got on the shows coming up next week. On Friday, I've got Dale Ann Melnick coming in. 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. Of course, you can call in and ask her a couple of questions as well, if you're polite.
Yes.
Dale's going to talk about recruiting for students that want to go on to university and get their school paid for. Volleyball players, female volleyball players. So we're gonna have her in the studio with me talking. On Saturday, what do we got lined up for Saturday? You got somebody special.
Saturday, I got absolutely nothing lined up, but I will have something, Pat Porter, and I will let
Dave Jen back.
I will let you know on the Friday. Yeah, maybe he'll be Dave Jen. I don't know. I kind of give up on Dave Jen, to be honest with you. But I got some Rolodex that is full of some great names. And speaking of Saturday, I don't know what's going to be on the Saturday show here on 4680Q between 3 and 4. I will have somebody.
Yeah.
But speaking of Saturday, that night, 7 o'clock, I will be at 203 Carlton Street. You know where that is, Pat Porter?
That is the new headquarters of wrestling with Chris Thorne.
Yeah, the Canadian Wrestling Federation, the CWF. They're having a huge show. And coming into town is Showtime Eric Young from TNA Wrestling.
So you're going to be there?
Yes, of course. I'm good friends with Showtime Eric Young, and he'll be facing Rex Atkins, which will be a great, great match. The NWX is earlier on in the day, 3 o'clock.
It's right in the back of Coppola's Restaurant on Carlton Street.
That's right in the back. And CWF has signed a 7-year deal to be there as well. Dance Fit. Of course, we know that Chris Thorne's beautiful wife.
Doris.
Doris runs the dance company there. Everything has been relocated there, and I believe in May.
How did Chris Thorne ever snag a beauty like her, by the way?
It always makes me wonder. Yeah. I'm so jealous.
Maybe he combed his hair that day, I guess.
I don't know how it happened,
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell happened, but shout outs to Doris, who really keeps things going there.
Yeah.
And shout outs to Doris and Chris Thorne on their new location. Check out that show on the 27th. And we should talk about August 9th, where CWF is doing their big show, their big resolution happening at the Meridian Center, and a lot of big news to come on that big show.
I remember a couple of years back, I inducted you into the CWF Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that was at the Scotiabank Center. That was a resolution, too. I can't remember what year that was necessarily.
No, that was at the Meridian Center.
No. It was at the Scotiabank Center here in the Falls.
Okay, but I did another event with you at the Meridian Center.
Yeah, that was another resolution. You came out. And
it was a resolution, yeah.
I think you inducted, if I recall right, you might have inducted Bushwhacker Luke.
Yeah,
I think you did that, yeah. You were part of the Hall of Fame there. But hey.
Yeah, I'm in the Hall of Fame, too.
You're in the Hall of Fame, and I'm sure there'll be another Hall of Fame ceremony at Resolution, because that's when it happens at Resolution. I know Brutus the Barber Beefcake is already signed, and there's going to be a lot of chatter. Check out CWF Canada on all the socials for all that. And while we're at it, I'm talking about Showtime Eric Young, who's going to be on the 27th at CWF. He's also going to be at Neo Pro Wrestling June the 9th. Here in Niagara Falls at the Columbus Club in Niagara. Tickets are already on sale, Pat Porter. And Showtime Eric Young will be going against Tarek for the Grand Independent Championship. That will be the main event. And that's Comic-Con weekend, Sunday, June 9th.
So Jay Moore, when I was asking you about 15 minutes ago to fill some time while I was making a phone call, you had nothing to say. And now, yap, you got everything to say. We're going to be here for another hour if you don't shut up.
I find it weird to keep plugging wrestling all the time, but it's my go-to when I got nothing to say. Yeah. So I didn't really want to lead into this.
Tell us about Tuesday night here in the studio.
There you go. Tuesday night here in the studio. Thank you, Pat Porter. Of course, I mentioned it at the top of the show. Joni Jane from Rebel Souls. Everybody knows that band, loves that band.
Yeah.
They play a lot of music in the Niagara region and do a lot of shows. Good party band. She's the female vocalist, the front woman, I guess.
She rides a motorbike, too, motorcycle.
Yeah, Joni Jane will be here in studio with us, and of course...
Some nice tattoos.
Of course, and Rebel Souls will be supporting the big Svengali show at Whiskey and Walleye, along with Dizzy Rex, that 70s rock show, and a couple others that we're going to talk about on Tuesday, our new show, week 3, between 8 and 9 p.m. here.
It becomes a podcast on YouTube less than a day later.
We got all kinds of content everywhere, Pat Porter. It's just splattered over the place on YouTube, infamousjmore.com. I got nothing left. I got no plugs. You want to play some music? You got anything to say, Pat Porter?
1050 live, muskokaradio.ca. That's where I spend some time as well.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
more radio jobs than I can handle.
More radio jobs. Shout outs to Paul Porter on his radio job. Shout outs to everybody.
WTAN in Tampa, Florida. And all the repeaters with the hometown radio show with Paul Porter. Yeah.
And thanks to Dave Jen. I hope you weren't thinking that we were going to call you West Coast Time because I'm out, Dave Jen.
All right, we're gonna turn things back to the Rick Rose playlist, and we'll catch you next week.
Oh yeah, I got a
Friday
sore
afternoon.
throat. It's too much talking.
Friday after. He talks too much.
Yeah.
We knew that anyway. That's the infamous Jay Moore. Yap, yap, yap. But he's done. So Friday, Saturday, and next Tuesday, we're back once again. So we'll see you then. 4680q.ca.